Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make are peanut butter bars or peanut butter crisp. And these cookies are so easy to make. They are absolutely delicious. Well, let's get started. First off, I want to talk about the pan. You do what's best if you have an 11 by 7 pan, okay? It really works well. Well, I don't have 11 by 7 pan, but I have two 7 by 7s. In other words, I make two of these, you know. If you have 11 by 7, then you're going to just make one. But like I said, I actually have two pans, so in this recipe I get two of them, okay? Now what's nice about this recipe is you don't need a mixer, you don't need a hand mixer, you don't need a stand mixer, you just need a large bowl, and I'm going to be using my my mixing bowl. You're going to start off with 3 cups of oatmeal, okay? There's 3 cups of oats in your bowl. You're also going to be putting in 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. So put that 3/4 of a cup in there, and then just start to stir that. Break up your brown sugar if it became hard, if it's, you know, been sitting out in the dish for a while, okay? And then just, you know, give that a good spin and turn it around so that you have a good mix, okay? The next thing is optional. If you want to do this or if you don't want to do this, you can put a 1/2 cup of nuts, of whatever choice of nuts you like. Generally, I use peanuts because I'm going to be using peanut butter, but you can do whatever nut. It really does taste very good. So I'm putting in those nuts, and I'm just going to give it a good stir again. And you're also going to be putting in a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now again, if you don't want to put nuts in this, then just leave them out. Otherwise, put you know, about a 1/2 cup. Okay? And then just stir that up really good. The next thing that you'll want to do is you want to melt a 1/2 cup of margarine. And I know some of you will say, well, I don't like margarine, or for whatever reason. I have always made this recipe with margarine, and it just comes out fantastic, okay? You want to go ahead and use butter, you know, feel free. And I melt it in actually a coffee mug in my microwave, and then I allow it to cool. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're just going to put that 1/2 cup of margarine, or maybe you're going to use butter, and then just keep stirring this till it all gets, you know, saturated. So keep stirring it till the mixture becomes moistened with that. Okay. And that will only take you, you know, you can see very quickly, okay? But you'll be able to tell if it's saturated. It'll be, you know, it'll be moistened. But you do want to make sure that it's mixed well and saturated well with that, okay? All right. All right, the next thing that you're going to do now is you're going to press in about 1/2 of the mixture, okay? Now generally I do have 2 pans, so I'm dividing them up equally. If you're just going to use the 1 pan, then, you know, of course, just go ahead and lay 1/2 of the dry ingredients into your pan. Now you won't need to grease your pan or anything like that because you've already got a fat in there. So they usually are very good. They never stick for me. If you want to put a little oil spray on it, you can. But like I said, it's not necessary. And then just pat them down, okay? Equal it out in your pan, okay? If you're using just one pan, or like I use 2 of these little 7x7s, and then just press it down with your fingertips so that's equal, and just press it in, okay? All right. The next thing that you're going to need is 1 cup of peanut butter, and that's going to be whatever brand that you want. I generally use creamy, but you can use the crunchy if you want, but because I put the nuts in, I usually don't. I use creamy. And again, I just melted, I'm sorry, in my coffee mug, and I'm going to show you, give it a stir. You know, it's going to be really easy to pour. Okay, that's a cup. And then again, what you want to do is divide it in half if you're using 2 pans like I am. And then just pour that on top. Okay. And then I usually use just a knife, a little butter knife here. I mean, you can use a small spatula if you want. And cover the top. It doesn't have to be exact, but you do want to try to even it out. I'm going to pour just a little bit more in here. Okay, and I'll show you that in a second. What you're creating is a layer of peanut butter down. And because you have melted, it's easier. It is easier, and it's easier to spread and to be able to get this to where it needs to be. I'm just going to put just a little bit more down. Okay, and I'll show you that in a second here. Okay. There we go. It takes a little bit of patience to do this, but okay. So it'll look like that. Okay, and then just spread it all out. Now, take, because I'm making 2, you take half of the mixture and you just put the rest of the dry on top of this. And usually you can, you know, eyeball it of how much you're using. Now, if you do have 1 pan, it's going to be easier. You don't have to worry so much about dividing. Okay, but you want to save enough that you can put that on the top. So you created a layer, in other words, underneath. And then just take your fingertips and the palm of your hand and then lightly press that in, because you want those layers to come together. So just, you know, you don't have to press real hard or anything, but you do want to press that in with your clean hands, okay? Like that. Now, let me rinse my hands quickly. You're going to put that in a preheated oven of 350 degrees, and it's going to take you anywhere from 25 to 30 minutes to bake it up. You know, all our ovens set up so differently, so, you know, do check it. You want them just to come out to be a little bit of a light golden brown, so you don't want to over bake them either and dry them out. Now, when they come out of the oven, though, you need to put your hot pan on a cooling rack, okay? And they should sit for about 30 minutes before you try to start cutting them. I have one to show you that's come out of the oven. This one is just slightly warm, and you can see that beautiful golden brown on the top from the oats from the baking procedure. Now, when you're baking these, the whole kitchen smells so good due to that peanut butter, oh, and that brown sugar. But anyway, let them set up, let them cool down for about 30 minutes. Now, let me show you what they look like once they're cut up. And this is how they're going to turn out. Now, I generally get oh boy, how would I say it? I can get about 4 bars out of one of these, so I get 8, a total of 8 on my 2 little pans. As you can see them now together, there's, you know, 7 by 7s. And then I think you could see how nice and golden brown that they do bake up. Or your 11 by 7, that kind of thing. And then just cut them into squares. And then you'll see that beautiful filling inside. And when you break open this, it's absolutely delicious because you taste those nuts that you put in. You've got the peanut butter, you've got the oatmeal. Oh, these are absolutely delicious. What I also like to do with them is I break them up and I put them over ice cream, you know, like a topping. Oh, just fantastic. So if you don't want to eat the bars, like I said, alone, you know, try breaking them up, like I said, and put them over ice cream. They just make a real pretty presentation. They'll bake up a nice golden brown, but they're very crispy, you know, but they have that chew to them. They are a great tasting little cookie bar or cookie crisp because they are so crispy. They really are. So I hope you try this recipe. I always say that to people, you know, if you try this recipe and you like it, leave a comment because I like to hear from you. And that's so true. I also will not be placing the ingredients below the video anymore due to so many people taking my work, posting it, pinning it, claiming it theirs. It's just not worth it anymore for me. And I'm certainly not alone on that. But I think the reason that I'm going through the trouble to tell you this is that when you've written to me or you write to me, if you're not watching me solely on YouTube or putting your question or your comment on YouTube, I'm not getting that. And I can't answer you, and it is very frustrating for me. So please, if you'd be kind enough to solely watch me on YouTube, that's the only place that I put my videos on, okay? So I want to thank you for watching. Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Or give the video a like. That would be fantastic. So give these peanut butter bar or crisp cookies a try. I think you're going to like them. So thanks again for watching Diane Lovetobake. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.